One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go, set. Go.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And some room to work. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, now they'll try the end around. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
The slot man in motion right. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throws right side, and that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That is caught inside the 5. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
Scoring first, so critical in the postseason. They've got it here, 1st and goal. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Forced out to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Armadillos are on the board first here in this division round matchup. A try here for the extra point. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Three and a half to go, first quarter. To the air with McCarthy. Throwing left side, it's complete. Look at the big man rumble. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Lions are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. That is caught. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
35 yards that time on the punt, and the Lions will take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On play action, McCarthy. He'll buy some time right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. Flushed out right. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field.
60 Eagles. Unlock line. Unlock. Ready.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. Down to about the 37.
But we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well. These two teams all tied after 1. On to the 2nd quarter. Memphis in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set. Take go.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Aiden Hutchinson In there to bury him for a loss of 11. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll drop to throw.
Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Lions are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Here's McCarthy.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
That good for 19 and a first down.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
Now a give to Gibbs, running left.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend.
A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy.
Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Boy, this is a well-orchestrated drive they've put together. You think back to how far they were backed up to start things out, but they've gone on a march since then, and now after that completion there, they've got a 1st and goal.
Gibbs.
A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Tried to pop it outside. No luck. Are you okay with that call on 1st down from there?
I am if they believe in running the football, and that's who they are, and that's their identity. What you're worried about in this situation, running it here, now with the loss of yardage, because the defense has forced you back a little bit, it changes your play call, and I think you're committed to the pass from here on out.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
A big one coming in this divisional round playoff, 3rd and goal. Now McCarthy.
And this is going to be intercepted.
The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. But the good news for them, they got
in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
Normally, when we think about big swings and scores before a half, we think offense, but this time, their defense made the play. Instant pressure off the snap, and they weren't going to let him find a way to escape.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Eluding the pressure right. He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now here's a throw out wide. Oh, this might be a double pass. That's going to be incomplete. Well, it looked like he had him for a second, but the razzle-dazzle will not work out. It's 2nd down.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
This ball nearly intercepted. A once-in-a-season chance for the big fella, but he couldn't corral it. 4th down, straight ahead.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and they'll remain down by 2.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
Throwing is McCarthy.
And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag.
We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
Slot man moves right.
McCarthy operating from the gun.
call it an even 20 yards on the pickup. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
Escaping the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
Looking to throw McCarthy.
Flush to his right. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will do it for this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And they've been the better of the 2 teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
On play action, now McCarthy.
Dancing to his left.
Finds Gibbs on the check down.
Just a gain of a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Operating from the gun. McCarthy. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Back to throw. McCarthy flushed out right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for fourth down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on fourth down.
Going for it, here's McCarthy. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
A lack of discipline defensively on fourth down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10.
To the air again, McCarthy.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Gibbs will try and pick it up.
But he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
J.J. McCarthy.
An 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little.
And now off to the races down the right side. And touchdown. A great play there. 81 yards.
And the Armadillos are back within a score.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception.
And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick two, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
And he'll just get rid of it.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
2nd and 10 here as we sit in the third quarter of this divisional round matchup. Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back who feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the second half, you got the lead, you're looking at moving on to the conference championship, and he's got to be saying, just keep giving me the ball, and I'll get us home.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 31 yards on the punt there.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title. Back now in Memphis, Tennessee, as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter.
Now 2nd and 9.
Barkley inside handoff.
And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well. They'll set up a throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down at 5.
They'll look to throw here. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, They broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Touchdown! From 21 yards away.
And the Armadillos have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Escaping a tackler at the 25.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Here's 2nd and 10. Gibbs straight ahead. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27.
And this is the worry because sometimes you get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Escaping the pressure right.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
What a call there on 3rd down. Took conviction, didn't it? If this is incomplete, the complexion of this game changes dramatically. Instead, not only is this a 1st down, but it's a big play to boot.
Two minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
That is intercepted. Down to the 10.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
Well, it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's
Anytime
right.
we have a
That's
defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Pushing his way through. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. He gets this out wide to Gibbs.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
Here's 1st down.
Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
They'll look to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left.
Just over 30 seconds remain. Here's 2nd and 10 now.
He's back to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute.
And now we've got a tie game after that touchdown. And you and I both know what that means. Extra point in this situation, this little time left, takes on some extra emphasis, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Now inside the final minute, can they get it and hold on? A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Back to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
19 tight, 19 tight. Warrior 70.
He'll look to throw. On the move to his left. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And he'll get this up past the 45. It's a 1st down, but the tackle comes in bounds.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Two timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10.
Go! At the 60, at the 60. Ready, ready?
Back to throw. flushed out right. He's going to find a man here. It's complete. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Running left, it's Barkley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout.
Here comes second down.
Track 60. Let's go now. 79 Broncos. Go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw.
This ball intercepted. And the Lions are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game.
And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough way for it to end.